Well, hello there, Tenno, and welcome back to another little episode of Warframe. And today we are focusing in on the Ocucor. But before we get into the whys and the hows, I need you to drop me a like, comment, and sub, whatever you can manage before I lose your already short attention span. Stay focused, Tenno. Come back, because we're trying to get to the goal of 10k subs soon, sooner rather than later. Okay, so do your thing. Now, why, may you ask, are we revisiting the Ocucor when I've already briefly covered it in my starting out on Steel Path secondary weapon video? Go and check it out. Well, it is because of the time of year. It has come around again, my favourite time of year, where you can get your hand on the very useful Augment mod for it. And by useful, I mean absolutely critical. Without this mod, the Ocucor isn't actually a very good weapon. I mean, it's not awful, but with it, well, it's giving Koumei&Ocucor with the sentient tendrils. Now, more on that mod in a mo. Let's talk about the weapon briefly. The Ocucor is a corpus beam pistol incorporating sentient technology, releasing energy tendrils on kills that assault the closest target. This weapon deals primarily radiation damage. Damage ramps up from 20% to 100% over 0.6 seconds when firing, very precise. After firing stops for 0.8 seconds, the damage decays back down to 20% over 2 seconds though. So this weapon really does want to be ammo efficient if we can. Kills with this weapon release an energy tendril that can home in on enemies close to the targeting reticle, up to a maximum of 4 tendrils. Tendrils lock onto enemies within 40 degrees of the reticle. That's very precise. Tendrils will stay locked on until enemies are 60 or more degrees away from the reticle. Again, precise. Never even thought about this before, so don't worry about it too much. This is just all the wiki info. Tendrils disappear upon reloading or emptying the magazine. Again, so we want like maybe a larger magazine, or we want to be ammo efficient just to make the tendrils lock on for as long as possible before we have to reload. And we definitely want to equip the Sentient Surge mod. Now, this mod is available from the Naberus event, which I just showed you. That was actually a couple of years ago footage. Because as I'm recording, Naberus actually hasn't been released. So, you know, you got to stay ahead of the game somehow. So, Naberus event means you can go and buy the Sentient Surge mod for mother tokens. And if you're new to all this, mother tokens are what you get from the Necrolisk on Deimos. You just need to go and introduce yourself to the Entrati family, and what an interesting family they are. And it'll be the daughter of the Necrolisk who's going to be selling you this Sentient Surge mod. Now, this mod is tradable between players, so you can buy it for a small amount of platinums. I assume the price might go up around Naberus because people get greedy. However, folks like me who have everything that we possibly need and wouldn't find any benefit from selling them for plat, I'll just get a load of spares, okay? And if you need one, just come and join the Discord and I might be able to give you a Sentient Surge mod. But you really do need to get the Ocucor. So before we look at the other positives to this weapon, let's go and find out where we can get it from. So your first option is to head to your friendly clan dojo, and if you don't have one, again, and we have one right here, feel free to join the Discord and ask to join. And you just head to your energy lab within the dojo, and you can buy / research the blueprint from there for 15,000 credits. And we're going to need a few things to build this. We're going to need 10 Fieldrons, talk about those in a mo, Thermal Sludge, Vernerdo Alloy, and Charamote Sagan modules. Most of these things can be found out on the Orb Valis, because this weapon is very much linked to the Orb Valis. And this all ties in with an update that's coming up soon as well, by the way, if you hadn't heard about it. More on that in another video. Now, would you like to know where to go and get these components? Okay, fine, let's go and skip among the resources. First up, we need some Fieldrons, and to build Fieldrons we need the blueprint from the dojo, which is 15,000 standing, I know. And to build a Fieldron you need some Fieldron samples, 10, exactly 10. So to build 10 Fieldrons you need 100 Fieldron samples. Now, you can do it this way, and you can get Fieldron samples from Corpus Tileset missions. You can also put your extractors over those planets and just do some mining on the side, or you can do invasions when they pop up and they'll give you pre-built Fieldrons as a reward. That's very useful, no? And next up we're heading to Fortuna, because everything else we need pretty much is here, the special stuff. So first we're going to head to Smokefinger and we're going to find ourselves the blueprint for the Vernerdo Alloy. And in true Warframe style, of course, we need another further thing to build the thing. So to build Vernerdo Alloy, we need to go mine Veneral. And we need 20 to build 20. And we need all in 55 to build the Ocucor. So we need around 60 Veneral. And we're going to find that by drilling and mining upon Orvalis. Look for the red veins. These ones right by the door will probably give you some Veneral. It's not a rare thing, so I don't even bother doing the aiming or the specific thing. Look, I'm just wiggling around and I've got 3. And now if you came out with a resource booster, you'd probably get around 6. So, you know, if you get a resource blessing, maybe, I don't know if that helps, but a resource booster, if you bought one for 40 plat from the market and did 3 days of grinding this stuff out, you'd get a ton of resources. I'm just saying. Okay, so yeah, red veins freely out on the Orvalis. Next up, we need some thermal sludge. Sounds delicious, right? So I come out on Orvalis, I'm low-key again because I'm invisible and I just want to mooch for loot. And what I tend to do is bring my map up and waypoint the bases that I can see, and then I head that way because thermal sludge is always at the bases. It's going to be elsewhere, but it's always there. And I've come as low-key because you can be invisible and mooch around, you know, for loot, because we're loot goblins. And I've got my Oxylus companion, and the Oxylus has I can't remember what the mod's called, but it just smashes stuff up for you and collects it without you having to worry about it. So if you think you've missed something, you haven't. And I'm not here to kill anybody. Okay, ignore that one. But here's a thermal sludge canister in case you were wondering what the heck she looked like before my Oxylus smashes it up for me. I tried to waypoint it, but it was like, no, we're having the loot, okay? And next up, we need some Charamote Sagan modules, 20 of. So we need to go fishing for those. And I've come to the business and I'm buying some Charamote bait because that will just make life a lot easier. And these things are going to spawn in cave hotspots. But I have a particular cave I like to go to. And when I go there, I always take my synthesid bait as well because that's another rare fish and it's always spawning in this cave. I'm not sure if it's a hot or cold one, you know, like as in we've got to wait for the weather to change. Either way, just spam in the bait and they usually turn up. Yeah, don't stress about it. And I like to use the stunner spear that you can buy here because it basically, once you've done one fish, caught a fish, it stuns all the fish in the region. So if you've got teeny tiny other fishies like the synthesid to get, then you can just grab those as well. Now pay attention to this cave because this cave is a good cave. It's to the left of the starport here, just south of Fortuna when you're looking at the map straight on, and it's got a few entrances to it, but once you get used to finding this little cave, it's very useful because synthesid also pop up in here as well as Charamote, and the Oxylus is showing us, because of the mod, that this is a little fishing cave hotspot, as it says on the top of left of the map there. Now it's got a little green haze over the water as well to give you another clue, and I'm just going to wang in a couple of Charamote baits, and I've shoved in a synthesid bait. Now it took a good few minutes from putting in, I've put 2 Charamote baits in because that's just my style. It took a few moments. I was fishing for other things in the meantime. I had to be patient, walk away a few feet and then come back, and they started to spawn in. Before I knew it, I had quite a few being picked up, and if you again have a resource booster, you'll pick up more than one for each one you pick up. So it's worth coming because you're going to get 1 Charamote Sagan module per fishy essentially. So you need 20. I believe, I don't know if there's a difference between the basic and the adorned, whether you get more for those. I actually don't know. I don't think so. Correct me in the comments if you know for a fact, not because you're guessing. And as you can see, the stunner spear gives us just a little bit more time for more fishing. And then once you've got your fill of fishies, then go back into Orvalis and go to the business and dismantle silverfish and then choose your fish of choice. And the business will give you little clues when you put them up, whether they're useful or not. And there you go, some Charamote Sagan modules, 6 of, because I'm putting up, I assume, 6 Charamotes. Or was I putting up 7? Anyway, sometimes maybe you just don't get one. I don't know. It's RNG. The whole game's RNG. Life is RNG, is it not? Anyway, there you go. That's how you get components for the Ocucor and get building. So let's have a look at some mod configurations. Now we're looking at Mirage because I ran it out with Mirage because she's very useful at ramping up the damage. And I have a Nourish build and an identical build with energized munitions on her second. So Nourish obviously being Grendel's viral proccing and also gives a lot of energy back. But energized munitions, I just tried it because the Ocucor benefits from not having to be reloaded anytime soon, and that did make that really good. And I did notice with the Ocucor, I only have 3 builds for it, and they're very, very, very similar. I was just kind of switching out arcanes to see what ran better, but honestly, it was fine. It was kind of like nothing was a massive make or break. The only thing you really do need is that Sentient Surge mod. And sometimes it looks like you're not doing a huge amount in the stats, and weirdly, conversely, you'll end up murdering and mullering everything in front of you. And then other times it's the other way around, depending on what Warframe you're running it out with. So my advice always is just trial and error. And if you've got a simulacrum, go and test it out there. But in the meantime, we also tried it with Saryn. Now, I did use Saryn on my Steel Path video, and I want to love Saryn so badly. I just can't make her survive on Steel Path. I think it's the way I want to build her. And look, she's such a badass. I just love her. I want to love her. I want to love playing as her, but I think there's a different way of playing her that'll make me happy. Anyway, does a lot of damage with the Ocucor. And I just fiddled around with some of these mods, and I think I was still formering anyway because I couldn't get all the prime versions of everything in. I think I did eventually, but this is kind of like the Lethal Torrent, Ice Storm, you know, the prime target crackers. Sometimes you see that. Definitely the 2 galvanized mods seem to appear in most builds, and I just fiddled. I would like tweak one mod here and there for like those dual stat mods like Jolt, you know, when you get a status effect and a status, I don't know, percentage or something. So I was faffing around with those for a long time, and then all of a sudden you're playing and everything starts melting in front of you. You're like, oh my goodness, what the hell did I do? What is it in this build that's making this melt? Now Saryn just tends to make everything melt anyway. I've brought the Panzervolp filler with the viral spreading as well, and what with her Toxic Lash, and I've got the Toxic Lash Augment in, I believe, as well as trying to shield gate her a little bit, and still dying. And it doesn't matter how many times I pop Molt, how many times I shield gate, still dying. What am I doing wrong? Anyway, don't lecture me too much in the comments, because I probably won't do it. Even if it's the right thing to do, I don't like being told what to do. I know you have to sort of suggest it in a very kind way. I don't know. It's something wrong with my brain. I can't help it, okay? But as you can see, we're having a whale of a time with the Ocucor here. And I did run it out with Gauss on the Steel Path video. Gauss was amazing, but again, sometimes I couldn't get him to survive, and I'm pretty sure that's just my playstyle. It's user error, definitely. So still practicing on that. But the one Warframe that I really enjoyed running the Ocucor out with should be, all together now, Koumei. She's such a cutie patootie. I love this Warframe and all her sound effects. And here's the build you're going to see. This is a mecha empowered build, and it's got the Augment mod in for her Omikuji Fortune because it's got a really long cooldown that keeps extending the longer you're in the mission and keep popping it. However, this will help reduce it, possibly, maybe. And you basically get like Duviri Decrees, and they stay with you for the entirety of the mission, even if you get downed. And if you're in a long old defense or survival or something like that, then they really do stack up. And this is the Ocucor build that you're about to see, and I had a whale of a time here. And yes, I did take my Torrid Incarnate because I would be insane if I just thought I'd go in here with a secondary and that's it. You're not just going to use one aspect of your arsenal, are you? But Koumei, I just love the fact that she spreads out status effects, and this helps the Ocucor as you go, and it takes a moment to charge the Ocucor up almost to get it rolling, to get it started. It feels a bit meh at first, but if you just keep on going, all of a sudden it starts to muller the living shizzle out of everything. And as you can see, the Nautilus Cordon mod really is helping bunch those enemies together as well, on top of everything else. But all of a sudden I just started having a whale of a time, and I stayed in for a couple of rounds with Koumei because she's just so good. And we're just spreading the status. We're spreading the status love everywhere. Now, the other Warframe I wanted to try the Ocucor with was a Citrine, and I never got round to it, so I will. And if it's any good, I'll bring you another video, because, you know, the month of October is long before we get to Movember. And we've got a lot of Naberus stuff to go on with, and we've got some announcements. They released quite a lot of information in the latest dev stream, so we will be covering all that as well. There's so much going on in the game, guys. This game is so delicious. But in the meantime, we have these little Underdog weapons that just feel a little bit like dog poo, and all of a sudden they're not. And this is one of the reasons why I love making videos, because it takes me out of my comfort zone to try to have a go with weapons that I probably would just not ever bother with. And same with the Warframes, and that's what I'm hoping with these videos. I can just inspire you to step out of your comfort zone and find a new zone of comforting murdering. Because it's like I didn't like melee, and now I don't mind melee because I started doing videos on it, and it's like, oh, actually now I've researched it and made some time for it. It's really good. And it's the same with this Ocucor weapon. So the other weapon that you can get a augment mod specifically from Naberus is the Emberless. So I'm going to look into that. If it's any good, I will of course bring you a video on it and we can discuss it. So if you have any other Underdog weapons that really just don't get much love in the game but you think are quietly amazing, then let us know in the comments. And what are you getting from Naberus? Are you going for the whole lot? My Discordians are busy prepping their mother tokens because they're good little loot goblins. Yes, they are. They belong to the best Discord. You said that? What? It's a great Discord and it's full of wonderful, diverse people doing all sorts of stuff, and we're all just busy living our lives. But the one thing that brings us all together is gaming, obviously, and Warframe, the beautiful game. And my darlings, there you go. That's the Ocucor. Do with it what you will. You don't have to follow my builds. I'm no expert, honestly, being genuine here. Haven't got a clue half the time. Shove it in, hope for the best, and oh look, I'm murdering stuff and we're doing all right. So, you know, it's just a game. So, in the meantime, I want to say thank you to you for watching. If you're staying here to the end, I literally love you. You bless the algorithm. You do. You really do give it its blessing, and I love you for it. And also I want to thank my Discordians because they are a great bunch of folks, and I also want to thank my YouTube members because they're incredibly generous and supportive as well. And it's all just looking up. It's all looking up. So I've got tons of video ideas, not enough time to execute them all. Real life job shenanigans getting in the way. I know, so rude. But I shall keep doing my best, darlings, and I'm really excited for all the updates. I will do my best to bring you as much content as possible. And I keep getting asked for like lore videos or, you know, story time videos. Apparently I've got the voice and people think I'm from the West Country. Some people do. I am not. Oh no. And it's not an insult. It's not insulting. Okay, but I'm not from the West Country. Anyway, my darlings, my sweethearts, thank you so much for joining me. I really do hope to see you again in the next one, no matter what it may be. But in the meantime, you take care now and goodbye.